So what is going on, guys? And today for you we have the third and final cipher, as far as I know, to be solved within the Call of Duty Zombies comic book series. Now this one is interesting. We've basically heard this before. You can see it on the dumpster next to Rustman, and when decoded it simply says Primis will fail. Remember in Shadows of Evil we had a cipher that says although they know the way, Primis will fail. This cipher is exactly the same. It's telling us the same thing. Now, Primis will fail is obviously speaking for the future. It is telling us that something is going to happen in the future. In this case, Primis will fail. We know this comic book series takes place after Buried. Buried obviously takes place before Revelations, and we see at the end of Revelations in the Easter egg cutscene, Primis do exactly fail. That is exactly what Primis do. Primis is our original characters, and what happens to them? They get sent back straight to the very beginning. Our characters are still trapped in this loop. They don't manage to escape. They don't manage to break the cycle. Therefore, Primis, our O1 characters, exactly fail. That's exactly what they do. They fail. The cipher's telling us what we already know, but if we were to read this before knowing what happens at the end of Revelations, then it would still be a mystery to us. But since it isn't, it's not really anything new to us, and let's be honest, it's not useful information. We've had this before. We know Primis fail. We've seen at the end of Revelations, our characters get sent back to become Primis. Our O1 characters are Primis. They are now at the very beginning, and then hundreds of thousands of years later, they will end up at Origins, where they will notice they have statues of themselves as Primis, with the Keeper symbols on them. But they won't remember why they are seeing themselves. Our characters, for some reason, don't remember that they are the original Primis. And so, as we go on from Origins to the Giant, as we end up killing ourselves and going through this very same cycle, where we meet Dr. Monty, we reunite with Dr. Maxis, we have the children in the house, and we get to the very end, where the Shadow Man is here, and we have to end up defeating him. Once again, we finish all that. Dr. Monty, like he has thousands of times before probably, is just going to send us back to the very beginning. Our characters don't seem to remember doing this, staying in this same loop, and so are failing to escape every time. We think the way to escape may be to kill Dr. Monty, but as far as we can see, there is no second ending in Revelations. I mean, there may be, people still have hopes. It would make total sense for all the hints that we've had, but so far, the only ending we've had is Primis failing, again is sent back to the very beginning of this cycle to complete this loop over and over again. Primis will fail, Primis have failed. It is a very simple cipher. Although our characters knew the way, although Richtofen knew what he needed to do, just like it was foretold, Primis did fail. Of the ciphers, our first one said its knowledge is a curse, which we think is on about the Canorium, and about how when Richtofen reads that, he is then cursed and becomes trapped in this never-ending loop. And then obviously we have the second cipher as well. If you want to check those videos out, I will link them down in the description. But there we go, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Leave a like rating, make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and peace out.